Yeah, good morning, one and all. Last class we can discuss about chemical coordination up to parathyroid gland. Now we can go for the next topic is the thymus gland. Here the location is very important. In previous, the thymus gland is located in the dorsal side of the heart, but present they can indicate the thymus gland is present in the ventral side of the heart beneath the breastbone. Here the beneath the breastbone means beneath the sternum the thymus gland is present. This thymus gland they can release a hormone that is known as a thymosin. This thymosin can stimulate the T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes can stimulate the B lymphocytes. B lymphocytes they can produce the antibodies. Antibody they can attack the antigen. At the time the immunity is increases. It means when the thymosin can stimulate the T lymphocytes, that from the T lymphocytes we can attack the antigen. That immunity is called as a cell mediated immunity. What is differentiation between cell mediated immunity and humoral immunity means? Cell mediated immunity is due to the T lymphocytes and humoral immunity due to the B lymphocytes. It means from the B lymphocytes the antibodies is produced. These antibodies they can attack the antigens. But the T lymphocytes they are not able to produce the antibodies. Without antibodies we can attack the antigen. That immunity is called as a cell mediated immunity. Below 12 years of children the thymus gland level is more. That's why it can release more thymosin at the time T lymphocytes stimulated, then to the B lymphocytes to the antibodies. These antibodies they can attack the antigen. At the time the immunity power is increases. When age is increases, thymus gland level is decreases. The thymosin level also decreases and releasing of antibodies is decreases. At the time the immunity power also decreases. That's why which gland the age is increases, the gland level is decreases, that is the thymus gland. The another very important topic that is called as a adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is present above the kidney. That's why it is called as a suprarenal gland. This adrenal gland is divided into two parts. Outer part is called as a cortex and inner one is called as a medulla. Here the cortex is divided into three zones. Outer one is called as zona glomerulosa. The second one is called as zona fasciculata and third one is the zona reticularis. Now here they are having a differentiation. Having a differentiation zona glomerulosa, zona fasciculata and zona reticularis. From zona glomerulosa they can release a chemical substances that named as a mineralocorticoids. From zona reticularis that is called as a glucocorticoids and zona reticularis that is called as a sex corticoids. From mineralocorticoids it can release a hormone that is known as a aldosterone. Glucocorticoids can release a cortisol. Sex corticoids they can release a sex hormones. Among these three zones the most of the position is occupied by the zona fasciculata, that is aldosterone, cortisol and sex hormones. These are all are what type of derivatives? Steroidal derivatives. Here what is the main use of the aldosterone? Aldosterone main use is the reabsorption of sodium and water in the DCT region. They can, I already said, they can show the type of absorption that is called obligatory reabsorption, and also it can maintain the electrolytical balance, and also it can support the RAS pathway. I already said in the excretor system renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. That's why at what time this pathway can be useful? When the glomerular filtration rate is low. When the glomerular filtration rate is low, at that time renin can stimulate the angiotensin. Angiotensin 1 is converted to the angiotensin 2 by the presence of angiotensin converting enzyme. That's why aldosterone reabsorption of what sodium is takes place. The blood pressure is increases. I already said about this one. Then Very important. Zona fasciculata, that will release a hormone cortisol. Cortisol is also called as a stress inhibiting hormone. Stress inhibiting hormone we have to indicate. Suppose when you are somewhat in a stress condition, you can feel you are not able to eat anything. When you are not able to eat anything, your body need energy. When body need energy means compulsory they need a glucose. That's why when the cortisol is releases, glycolysis takes place, lipolysis takes place, proteolysis takes place. About glycolysis, lipolysis and proteolysis, finally they can form a glucose. That's why it can show a anti-insulin activity. It means insulin converts the glucose to glycogen, but here glycogen to glucose, it means gluconeogenesis takes place, glucogenesis takes place. Gluconeogenesis means other than carbohydrates, when glucose formation takes place, that is known as a gluconeogenesis. And also it can be useful for increasing of the blood pressure, increasing of RBC production, that is called as erythropoiesis, and decreasing of white blood cells. And also it can show the anti-inflammatory action. When the blood pressure is increases means the sodium level is increases and potassium level is decreases, that is regarding to the cortisol hormone. Next, zona reticularis, that is indicates the sex hormones. Testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, human chronic gonadotropin hormone. I already said testosterone, estrogen can give the secondary sexual characters in males and females. Progesterone, it can maintain the pregnancy, mainly useful for the implantation. Human chronic gonadotropin hormone can stimulate the corpus luteum. From the corpus luteum it can release the progesterone after the fertilization.